we're gonna start off by draining the jackfruit in a strainer. So for this recipe, I used 2 cans of jackfruit. Go ahead and rinse the jackfruit. So it's totally optional, but I used a clean reusable towel to pat dry the jackfruit just to get off any excess water. But by doing this, the jackfruit will stick on the towel, but just try to get it off. In a large bowl, just add the jackfruit in there because we're going to marinate it. So for this part, you could either use a food processor or your hands, but I chose my hands because, I don't want to clean a food processor. So some people don't marinate their jackfruit, they just add it into the pan, but I thought it would be a good idea to marinate it so the flavors can sink in and saturate into the jackfruit. So instead of using tomato paste or tomato sauce, I used ketchup because I already had that ingredient on hand. Adding liquid smoke is optional, but it does give a smoky and meaty flavor to the jackfruit. I used half of a yellow onion. Chop, chop, chop. Put in a bowl and set it aside. I used 5 cloves of garlic. And you know it, put in another bowl and set it aside. Don't forget to wash your potatoes, and right here I'm gonna peel them because I don't like the skin. Slice your potatoes and then cut them into dices like that. Make sure they're tiny just so it cooks a little faster, because if you cut it into bigger chunks, then the longer you have to wait until it's cooked. Rinse the potato just to get the starch off. Use any type of veggie broth for this. Here we're just adding 2 tablespoons of oil, and we're going to fry the potatoes about for 10 minutes or until it's golden brown. And here we're going to make some pico, so I added some avocado. Then we're slicing up some serrano pepper just to add some spice to the jackfruit. Here we're just cutting the tomatoes. I used 2 and it was kind of small, so yeah. And now the potatoes are golden brown, and I added the onions and then the garlic and let it saute for a little while until wilted, and then I added some of the serrano peppers. In a small bowl, you're going to add the spices and seasonings. You can see I used cumin, chili powder, turmeric, some onion powder, and some garlic powder. And just add it and mix. Then we're gonna add the jackfruit, and I forgot paprika. And then I added some more veggie broth in it and maple syrup, just a little, and I actually wanted to add more ketchup. I only added like 1 or 2 tablespoons. Anyway, the recipe will be on my blog, so go check it out just for a better way to follow the recipe instead of the video. But here, this is a pico. I added some lime. Cut up the cilantro however you would like. I use the stems so I produce less waste. Next, just add it to the pico. And then I like using red onion for raw food items just because it tastes better and it's better eaten raw. Someone said. Chop, chop, chop. I'm so sorry, my tripod was falling at that time. And then you can add it to the pico, and I decided to add some ketchup into it. Right here, I'm just flipping over the jackfruit after 15 minutes, just so the moisture can evaporate. once more. Put it in another 15 more minutes in the oven, and it should look like this. And then warm up your tortillas, and there you have it. You have your vegan jackfruit tacos. I hope you enjoyed watching, and subscribe if you want, and visit my blog at Plan Fulfilled where the recipe will be.